And then I have an adaptable routine, which is a routine which is I'm on the road, I'm traveling, I'm somewhere else. And as a avid traveler, traveling for events and properties and, checking out different things that are going on in the world, you have to be able to be adaptable. But I think coming back to this idea of the importance of discipline equals freedom, it's a fascinating idea because I also grew up, was diagnosed ADD when I was very young, was on Ritalin. I chose to get off of it myself. I took myself off when I was in maybe second or third grade, 7 or 8 years old, and then went back on it in college and immediately came back off. And so the thing that I ended up learning from it was that I had to find ways to be able to adapt to not taking the drug because I felt like it just sucked my personality right out. And there was great things about it. And there was obviously bad things. And so it's interesting because what I've essentially focused on is creating all of these structures in place to leverage that ability, into something that's really useful. And it's been, it ends up taking one of your greatest, or in my case, my greatest weakness and turned it into one of the things that makes me the best, because when somebody is hyper focused, you just got to get them focused on the right things, right? Mm-hmm. And you got to be able to move and adapt. And that obsession that comes along with ADHD can, and has been for me something that's really good. Now, also recognizing that is putting the right people in place that can support and, help things move forward where, otherwise I would choose to not or drop the ball. So I think that's really big. But the interesting thing about being on the road so much, I'm back in Colorado and Denver. I'm based out of Denver permanently. Now this is my home. Shortly I'll have the full studio set up here again. But for the last year and some change, almost a year and a half, I've been on the road. And I sold my house in July 2020. I intended on going on a trip for 30 days and coming back and buying a new place and doing another project and creating more equity. And the market kept going up. And frankly, I just took the opportunity to dive into whatever was in front of me. And I went, obviously extended my trip longer in Hawaii, spent some time there. I went back to Minnesota, spent some time with family. And for me, what it really was this place of, I do travel a lot, and that's always been kind of a thing. I've always been building a business that was built to be location independent from day one. And I've sacrificed income in order to make sure that was possible. And now I'm at a place where I don't necessarily need to sacrifice that income to create great business. But it's interesting because the genesis of this was, I'm at the 2-year mark on the house. It's time to sell. I can cash out without paying any, taxes on the gain because I did a big renovation and, added a ton of value. But I also had a big life change. I had about a year prior, my younger sister passed away unexpectedly in a car accident. And that last year before that was a year of grief. It was a year of change. It was a year of, emotional shutdown for 3 or 4 months and not knowing how to handle those kind of emotions and then going through a process of coming out the other side. And then when COVID hit, it was actually almost a blessing because all of a sudden COVID created this cloud cover that I could fly underneath, that all of a sudden everyone else was grieving in a different way. They had their own fears, their own things. And so I was in this, delightful low place, but really making some amazing personal growth work by really focusing in on those feelings. And when that opportunity to go on the road came, I took it. I took it because I thought, she worked for National Geographic. She traveled the world. She had an amazing life, and it was short. She was 27, but I thought, you know what? I don't know if tomorrow is promised to me, so I better take today. And as a result of doing that, I came back in an even more confident place, in an even more stronger place, with a better understanding of who I am and a better connection to other people as well as myself. And I think that's one of the things that travel can do that's really good, is when you really get to build a good relationship with yourself, but also with others. But also when you go through a tough time like COVID, like the loss of a loved one, like an unexpected loss, right? We all had an unexpected loss with COVID, some of us much worse than others. But it's through that process that you end up really being able to reach deeper into yourself. And now not everyone takes advantage of the opportunity. A lot of people hide from it. They use drugs and alcohol or other things to hide from it. I chose to not go that route. I abstained. It's 2 years since I've had a drink, not because I had a problem. I actually had started a 30-day sober October prior to her death, but it gave me the opportunity to really feel those things. So I lay that out on the table because we went there, and I feel like there's a lot of lessons in there that we could probably unpack that might help some people in their life or business or whatever they're experiencing.